Welcome back to Personal Finance Reimagined. I'm your host, Jeff Hulett, and today we will walk the financial success road. Today we're diving into a topic that might sound a little heavy, philosophy, neuroscience, and physics. But trust me, the answer is the most practical, life-changing advice you'll ever receive. We're going to talk about determinism versus free will, and why the scientific truth is useless, but the useful fiction is the key to your success. Our organization is dedicated to helping clients and students master their decision process. We operate by an old saying, if you name it, you can tame it. This means understanding the essential, often hidden inputs to your decisions can help you navigate complexity better. Our discussion goes beyond decision process. It's about naming the hidden challenges of those goals. By identifying these challenges, we believe you gain life-changing clarity. Let's start with the cold hard science. The universe, including you and me, is a deterministic system. Now, what does that mean? Determinism is the philosophical idea that every event, every thought, every choice you make is just the inevitable product of what happened a microsecond ago. And then what caused by that, what happened before that microsecond. And then it stretches all the way back to the Big Bang. It's an unbroken chain of cause and effect governed by physics. There are no true starting points. There's only reaction. So prominent scientists argue this forcefully. So first consider Robert Sapolsky. So Dr. Sapolsky is a renowned neuroendocrinologist and a professor of biology and neurology at Stanford University. So Sapolsky is famous for his work linking stress, neurobiology, and human behavior. He argues that there's simply no room for free will. Every action is the final output of a neurochemical process, which are themselves dictated by milliseconds of prior neural activity, years of hormonal exposure, genetics, and evolutionary history. Our choices are inevitable results of our neurobiology and environmental history. The classical expression of this comes from the 18th century from a gentleman named Pierre-Simon Laplace. So Laplace was a famous French scholar known for his work in mathematics, physics, and astronomy. So Laplace is known for his massive contributions to celestial mechanics and probability theory. So Laplace imagined a supreme intellect, which is often called Laplace's demon, that, knowing all the forces and positions in the universe all at once, could calculate and predict every future event. That perfectly embodies the deterministic ideal. Okay, and this is where we get to the core of the deterministic problem. So determinism is the philosophy of the gaze backwards, right? So when you look back at your life, at the career choices you made, the people you married, the money you saved, the mistakes you regret, doesn't it all feel determined? You can trace this path. I made X decision because Y influenced me, because Z happened to my parents. So in this way, the past is fixed, and that path through the past is clear. But while determinism is a perfect explanation for how you got here, it is a catastrophic strategy for moving forward. Okay? If you truly believe everything is fixed, why bother trying? Why set a goal? Why sacrifice today for tomorrow? Determinism is the philosophy of fatalism, and it's completely useless for building a better life. To be successful, to be happy, and to leverage your incredible human potential, we must embrace a different truth. That is, the gaze forward. This isn't just fluffy motivation. It has a home in your brain. The Global Neuronal Workspace Theory, or GNWT, gives us the physical mechanism for what we call willpower or choice. This theory was developed by scientists like Stanislas Dehaene, a world-renowned French cognitive neuroscientist. So Duhane is a pioneer in using brain imaging to study consciousness, numerical cognition, and reading. The GNWT suggests that your consciousness is like a central broadcasting hub. When you set a goal, right? When you consciously decide, I want to save $5,000 or I want to learn this or that skill, the goal becomes the dominant signal in that workspace. It's a powerful top-down influence that overrides your automatic, habitual, determined reactions associated with determinism. So this mechanism allows your attentional systems to select and amplify information that serves your goal. You are not violating the laws of physics. You are simply loading a highly efficient, conscious program that dictates the subsequent change of determined events. The act of loading the program is what feels like free will. So now let's talk about why is it that the forward-looking mindset is so incredibly important. So first of all, rationality is diverse. I call this the fallacy of the one. In our culture, we are often taught to seek the one rational answer. So that is a complete fallacy. There is no one rational answer. There is only an answer most rational for you, or for me, or for Sally, or for Bob, or for whomever. Your goals and definitions of success are unique. What is rational for my financial plan based on my risk tolerance and my family situation is completely different than yours. Since there is no single predetermined best choice, you must exercise individual choice and autonomy to align your actions with your personal definition of rationality. So, and then number two, the value of agency. So here's the deal. Free will just feels better. We are fundamentally happier when we feel like we have agency, like our effort matters. We have a choice. This is why philosophy like Stoicism teaches us to focus our mental energy only on the things we can control, like our judgments and intentions, the ultimate expression of functional free will. Treating your life as if you have free will is the healthier, happier, and ultimately more successful way to live. It's the optimal operating system for the human mind. So let's stop gazing backwards and start looking forward. Here are 3 simple practical steps to actively engage your free will system for success, and how we help clients and students at PFR do exactly this. So first, stop asking why me and ask what now? When a setback happens, your initial question should not be, why did this happen to me? Ew. That only leads to blame and fatalism. Instead, use your backward gaze for a moment, that's fair, but to do just a little bit of analysis. What specific factors, decision, habits, actions led to the mistake? Learning from your past mistake is an essential part of growth. But here's the thing, we tend to get stuck in wallowing around in what the mistakes we made from the past. You need to do that briefly, but then sink it. Okay? Once you've analyzed the cause, immediately pivot your gaze and ask the powerful proactive question, what is my next deliberate action? This moves you from the role of passive victim to the role of active agent. Okay? Now, 2, choose your mindset. And this is the ultimate choice. So this is actually adapted from a psychologist. Her name is Carol Dweck, and she invented or specified what's known as the growth mindset. Carol Dweck is a professor of psychology at Stanford University, known for her seminal work on the concept of mindset. So her work shows the profound impact of believing abilities and intelligence can be developed, and that's what she calls the growth mindset, instead of or versus believing they are fixed traits, known as the fixed mindset. So the fixed mindset is a form of determinism. I'm bad with money, I can't change that. Baloney. The growth mindset is free will. That attitude is more like, My current skills are just a starting point. My effort determines my future. This is the foundational decision, the decision to believe your efforts matter. Okay, and then number 3, master your attentional spotlight. And we provide an action plan at PFR. So since your conscious goals, your free will and action, are the top-down drivers of the GNWT, you must constantly reinforce them. Regularly review your goals, write them down, say them out loud, talk about them. This ensures your desired future state remains the globally broadcast content in your brain. Remember, your brain is listening. You need to remind it. Be clear about your intentions, to be clear about the attention it should be giving. So at PFR, we teach our clients and students how to operationalize this free will. So for personal finance, we don't teach one-size-fits-all finance, right? We teach personal finance grounded in free will and determining what is important to you, or you, or you, or you. We help you articulate your highest level goals and then use modern technology called choice architecture, that's the technology of behavioral economists, to design a financial environment where the right choice, the choice aligned with your goals, is the easiest choice. So for entrepreneurs, we help business owners implement adaptive decision systems as an expression of their free will. We encourage them to develop rigorous business plans, but not as a deterministic fixed road, but as a platform to pivot as the needs of the market emerges. We help them build processes to constantly understand the needs of the market they serve and swiftly adjust their strategy, making continuous, deliberate choices to achieve market alignment. So this use of choice architecture and adaptive planning is the ultimate practical expression of free will. It's the determined human using conscious choice to design their environment to make future actions align with their deepest goals. The bottom line is you have a complicated, determined neurobiological machine right up here, but you have the power to load a powerful program. I call it the free will program. It may be the useful illusion, but it's the one that makes your success emerge. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this useful, hit the like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. What next deliberate action are you choosing today? We'll see you next time.